And we're joined by Amany Soliman in the Egyptian capital, Cairo. She's an associate professor at Alexandria University. I want to pick up on something our reporter was saying here, that these renewed Israeli attacks are all part of putting pressure on Hamas. And some might say that actually the group has very little room for maneuver right now, that they don't have that many cards left to play. What's your view?
I think Hamas has two cards, the political card and the detainees card, which is number one. And number two would be a military card. Hamas is going to perhaps use their guerrilla tactics. Maybe they are going to fire some rockets on the Israelis. And they would use pressure from their allied groups like Houthis or perhaps even Hezbollah if they manage to do some attacks on the Israelis, just to lessen the pressure on them. But their card that they will keep on using will be the detainees. And now they are going to rely on the pressure from inside the Israeli street, from the Israeli public, who are the only ones who can put pressure on Netanyahu to go back to negotiations, or maybe for resuming the truce or starting the second phase. So I guess in the coming days, we'll see Hamas releasing perhaps footage of more of the detainees, or trying to remind the world, especially the Israeli people, that we still have some of your sons and daughters, and what's happening is mainly jeopardizing them. It's not just Palestinians who are going to lose their lives, but perhaps the rest of the detainees, whom we're not sure how many, are going to be killed as well. So for Hamas to maneuver, it's these two things, using the card of the detainees and also trying perhaps to use a few military tactics, of course, in the light of their incapability to realign after the loss of many of their prominent figures and leaders.
Okay, so they do still have some options. What do you expect from the international community this time round? Do you expect more kind of hand-wringing and big words, or do you think there'll be some actual action this time from world leaders, from Arab neighbours perhaps?
Well, the Arab neighbors will continue both the big words and trying to go back to negotiations. The mediators, especially Egypt and Qatar, I am sure they are trying to reach between both the Israelis and Hamas to go back to the table, even if under fire, as Netanyahu said. But what I'm expecting in the coming days is the international community will try to resume the international aid, because the humanitarian situation is, of course, dire in Gaza, and we have heard the UNICEF and what they said. And I guess now the international community feels that they cannot put pressure on the Israelis or the Americans to stop the attacks. However, they could intervene in terms of humanitarian aid, and this is the most that they can do for a short term. And I think this also will be done under fire. It's not easy to get aids into the enclave to the Palestinians.
Okay, Amany Soliman from Cairo, thank you so much for your insight.